turn 7, I believe, right here. Yeah. See how we're sticking right up against the curb, not touching those patches? Coming down here, you want to say the inside of those patches. I see a lot of people still going over that or to the outside of that. You want to be on the inside of that. Coming down into 9 and 10, there's our cone, our turn-in point. Stay to the inside of the ceiling. And you'll touch just a little bit of that one. Try to stay to the inside of this stuff, guys.
Hey, Dirk, was that box still out there?
No, I didn't see it.
That helped me out a lot.
Yeah. Okay, in this turn.
That helped me out a lot.
Yeah. Okay, in this turn. There.
I noticed last time we went from that channel.
Yeah, but they changed the. Okay, so look, see how I'm going out wide, and I'm pinching up the inside right here, and I'm staying to the inside of all that patchwork. And I'm able to do that because I'm hitting that curb, coming out just a little bit, staying to the inside of the patches, and then tightening it back up again. And then, of course, coming down into where pit in is, this stuff is unavoidable. I mean, there's nothing you can do about this stuff. So throughout the day, hopefully it'll heat up and get a little bit more sticky, but for the most part, it's just going to stay that way. Okay, so talking about 1 and 2 here, here's our cone right here. So there's our turn-in point. We should be on the inside of the patches there. Flip it back over, curb to curb right there on 1 and 2. Okay, so, yeah, and it's very, very, very extremely slippery out there. So we talked about working some turn sets earlier. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3. The turn-in cone, I see a lot of people still turning in too early. And it's putting them over the patches. And then when it's time to flip back to the left for turn 2, they're pointing at the curb too much. They've pointed themselves at an angle that is not conducive to getting any type of drive up this little short chute right here. So when we come in at 1, bring it a little wider. Stay to the inside of the patches, curb to curb. So you should be inside the patches, and then accelerating up over the crest of the hill. And I see a lot of people, they're braking at 400. That's good. Start gradually moving your brake markers forward. I like to be just starting to grab my brakes at about 200, and then I trail brake a little bit into this, and we let off coming into 3. And if you stick to the inside line here on 3, you can avoid the patches. Okay, so here we are. There's our brake markers, 400, 300, 200, 100. And if you go curb to curb here, stay to the inside. See, I never touched any patches, Suck it up tight against that curb. Never touch the patch. Anyway, so remember 3, the line is, the turn-in point is that last brake marker. And if you stay to the inside curb, drift out just a tad, and hit that curb again right there, it's all nice track right there. No patches, no sealant, your bike won't move. It's a good place to make up time. You get grip through there. Then we'll talk about coming down into the dust bowl, and this is still terrible, terrible, terrible in there. Everybody I see going through there is just kicking up clouds of dust and stuff. So, alright, so here we are. I see a lot of people going way out wide there. You know, that's not so bad. You can make up more time by staying to the inside. And what that does is it puts dust on your tire. So when you're coming up this right-hander right here, and under acceleration, what your tire going to do is going to start spinning on you. I still see some people hitting the patch there too. Why, I don't know, because that's a fairly easy turn to get set up for. So we'll see if we find out who that is. Okay, so some people had asked me about, you know, this is very deceiving right here, but there's your first brake marker we just hit. This is very deceiving. You don't even really have to start braking until about right there. All right? It's very deceiving. Once you start seeing your brake markers there, then start thinking in your head, okay, I know there's 5 of these. So I saw the first one, start counting 1001, 1002, and every 1000 it should move you up to the next brake marker. This, believe it or not, I know it looks bad, but it's actually grippy. Now that they've shaved and grinded the surface of the sealer, it's actually fairly grippy. There's dust there, but the tire is still gripped. So coming into this turn, this is where we just can't avoid going over these patches. There's both lines, you take the inside line or the outside line, the middle line, it doesn't matter, you're going to go over the patches. It's best to give up a little bit of corner entry speed so that when you swing wide out here, that you can actually start getting on the throttle as you get the bike stood up. And that'll keep the tire from spinning. So get your bike stood up and then start accelerating out of there. Because if your bike's leaned over and you hit that patch, it's just going to slide and move on you. So try to get your bike stood up a little bit coming out of 6. And with the bike stood up, you're going to drift out to the track, but that's why that curving's out there. That's the natural progression of your bike to kind of drift out to the side of the track over there. So, you know, use the track. There's plenty of it. Look how wide it is, you know. Use up the track. If you got to drift out wide a little bit, let the bike push you out. It's not too far. All right, so this is still, it's better than it was. Still very bumpy. Coming into the entrance of this, I see a lot of people on this side of the sealer patch, or excuse me, the seam. I see people out here. But the problem with that is, when you get out here, you can see where the pavement, the camber sweeps away, and it started to get real. It's worse than it was when they first laid this asphalt down. So when you get out here, it compresses your suspension, and then you've got to come up out of that little thing, and then over this rise, and then over that stuff. So try to stay a little bit more to this side of that seam right there if you can. And enter right here. See, he's way out on the patches. He doesn't need to be out there. Suck up against the curb, and that'll set you up for this turn. See, he's pointing off the track almost right there. He recovered fairly decent, but it still, see how it pushes you out?